Welcome to Talk Birdie to Me. This is Australia's most popular golf podcast with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn, the only player to beat Tiger Woods twice in match play, and tour pro Mark Allen, who played professional golf around the world for 15 years, including a British Open. We're coming from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist is the number one ball in golf, and FootJoy is the number one shoe and glove in golf. And thanks to our great partners, Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Download the Better app from the app stores today. Now that's better. And keep in mind, what are you really gambling with? Ping, as with Nick O'Hearn, they'll help you play your best. See your local golf shop or professional for a Ping club fitting. The Golf Clearance Outlet beat everyone's prices. Visit golfclearanceoutlet.com.au for your nearest store. Watch My Numbers turns your bogeys into birdies. Download the app from Google Play or the App Store. Now, from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, Talk Birdie to Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen.
Well, good day, everybody. This week, our new set, right smack in the middle of the Titleist FootJoy brand experience room. It's our new set, and I think we have done a great job.
I think your new job is set studio design, because you've placed it. The product placement is unbelievable.
Well, we were here 2 hours ago when we started, but we finally got it right. Anyway, Nick Arnold, hopefully you're happy. We know you are, and thanks so much for your support, Titleist and FootJoy, massive sponsors. Before we get going, we did announce during the week that we were doing our first golf day, Dan. Now, how are ticket sales going? I'm interested to know.
Interesting. So it is at Links Hope Island, Links Golf and Wellbeing on the Gold Coast, and it's on Wednesday, October 8th.
Yes.
The first Talk Birdie to Me golf day. And I had a look just before we started. Tickets are nearly a third sold out.
After how many
Very
days?
nice.
Oh, like 4 or 5 days. Something
Oh,
like that.
fantastic. All right. So if you're planning a little holiday, or maybe it's time to plan a little holiday up to the Gold Coast or Queensland, make sure you buy tickets. Come see us on the 8th of October.
8th of October. And tickets are at the Links Golf and Wellbeing website. Links are on our socials as well.
Okay. Yumi is the Women's Open Championship.
Yumi, or me, you.
Oh, yeah, it's funny. I called her high-low at the start of the week because I knew it was opposites her name.
Her name is Me You.
Me You. Me You, I got it wrong.
Oh, come on.
I apologise.
Miyu Yamashita.
I apologise. But just a complete Japanese domination of the Women's Open.
Absolutely. Japan is coming. And by the way, Asian Pacific domination at the moment. We need to talk about this because...
Well, hang on. I think we've got to be careful. Didn't Jan Stephenson get almost cancelled because she said, watch out, because the Asian girls are going to dominate the tour? I mean, she almost got cancelled for that.
Especially the Koreans, I think. And
it's a ridiculous thing to say because we're watching it before our very eyes. I mean, it is an Asia-Pacific domination of world women's golf.
Well, we now have a new number one in the world. Nelly Korda has been supplanted by Jeeno Thitikul, who's a Thai golfer. Nelly's now number two, but the Japanese, they're incredible. At one stage, I think through 36 holes, it was 1-2 on the leaderboard. I think they have 7 out of the top 30 in the world players right now, and they are coming. This girl, Miyu, she's a rookie on the LPGA Tour, but when I say rookie, she's already won 14 times on the Japanese LPGA.
So she's not really a rookie.
She's not really a rookie.
And their tour... It's
strong.
Not really a mini tour, is it?
It is strong.
It is a strong tour, that Japanese women's circuit.
She's beaten players like Ayaka Furue, the Iwai sisters and all them on the tour over there already. And now they're seeing players that they used to hold off a bit longer. They used to come, they'd stay on their own tour and play there because it was a bit more comfortable. Now they're coming across a little bit early because they're seeing the success of all the other Japanese players. And I can tell you now, there's a lot more coming. Yeah, there is a lot more coming because that tour over there is very strong and look out.
Well, I know this too because when you go through and, I've got still friends over there in America, apparently in the women's side of collegiate golf, the Asian girls are extremely strong in this area. I mean, they work hard, they are strong, they are diligent, they want to get to the top. I'm not saying that doesn't mean, the European girls and the American girls and the Australian girls. Well, our Australian girls are killing it at the moment as well, actually.
Because Asia Pacific, by the way.
Yeah, we're killing it.
We've got 2 in the top 5. I'm just looking up the Rolex rankings right now.
Yeah, go on.
Jeeno Thitikul, number 1. Nelly Korda, number 2. Lydia Ko, 3. Minji Lee, 4.
All right, that's 3 out of 4.
Roning Yin from China, 5.
That counts.
Miyu Yamashita moved up from 15 to number 6 now.
5 out of 6.
Yeah. By the way, Miyu's 4'11". I did not know that. I knew she was tiny, but
she didn't look 4 foot. Oh,
she's
she
not
looked
even
like
5'3". She's not even 5 feet.
She's 4'11".
4 foot. I looked it up on Wiki, but
Yeah,
who knows about that?
Yeah.
Angel Yin, who's an American, Hyoju Kim, Korean,
Yeah.
Hairan Ryu, Korean, and then Charlie Hull, the English woman at number 10. Then you got Ryo Takeda,
So
and
what's
Mae Sago, a couple more Japanese players. So you've got 3 Japanese in the top 12, and you've got 9, I think, of the top 12 are from Asia Pacific.
9 of the top 12 are Asian Pacific golfers.
Yes, correct.
All right. So why do you think it is, Nick? I mean, to me, I just think when I look at even the Asian men, their body, I just feel like it's more flexible. I feel like there is strength in their flexibility. And the other thing, obviously, is that the work ethic.
You just hit on it right there. I think the focus, the dedication, precision, I think, is a word that goes really well with a lot of the Asia Pacific players. They just, every shot, every swing matters. Everything counts. And if you look at, the history, and if you want to really take it deep and you go back into the Zen side of things and the martial arts, everything's all about focus, being in the present moment. And that lends itself really well to golf, funnily enough.
It is 100% golf.
None of them overpower golf courses that I've seen so far. I mean, Jeeno, sure, she does get it out there, but there are other players that are longer. But I think it's that precision, the focus, the dedication, the work ethic, as you say, and then a lot of them, their families are so well entrenched. A lot of them, their fathers, for example, are their coaches. Like Miu's father is her coach.
Yes,
and they had a range session after round 3, funnily enough, because the swing wasn't really going well on the Saturday, and then they turned it around. Yeah, it wasn't precise enough, as you could say. But you add all those things up, and guess what? We got a lot of the best players on the female side who are up there on the top of the rankings.
Okay. And a big hello to Jan Stephenson. Of course, she won 3 majors herself, and she put this on the radar, what do you reckon, 15, 20 years ago?
Could have been about 20 years ago, I'd
20
say.
years ago. Yeah. So a big hello to you, Jan, because what you could see has turned out to be right. And we know you weren't saying it for the wrong reasons, that some people presumed or just jumped to that conclusion. Here we are saying it now. The Asia Pacific girls are completely dominating the world of golf, and good on them. Well done.
It would be a great conversation. Let's get Jan on to chat about it. Wouldn't that be good?
Look,
hey? Add another one to the list, Dan.
We will definitely get Jan Stephenson on.
No, we've got a few coming up.
So what a star she was.
Stay tuned. But the other thing, I think the big winner out of the week of the women's
You going to say the golf course?
The golf course.
Yeah, the golf course.
Royal Porthcawl. What a golf course. Now, the men, for example, you couldn't have a men's tournament there because it's just it's not long enough.
That's right.
They had the Senior British Open there a couple of years ago, maybe even last year. It's perfect for them, and I think it's perfect for the women as well because it sets up wonderfully. Because there's a lot of holes where if you can carry the ball 300 yards, well, then it kind of decimates the course, and most of the guys can. But for these players, it is perfect. It's how the game should be played.
Windy joint, was it that windy? I think it was. I watched a little bit.
Sunday was windy.
I watched a little bit each day. Each day, I just because of the time slot and. Watched a little bit each day, and I reckon I heard a couple of times that when they played the Senior Men's Open, it was as windy.
Oh, it was
It
pumping.
was crazy.
No, I don't think they might have only been a few scores under par that one.
It was psycho.
It was unbelievable.
It was off the charts.
The other, I got to tip my hat to our own Steph Kyriacou because she started the final round because the first hole, funnily enough, there's out of bounds left to the green, and the wind was whipping off the right.
Yes.
She hits it out of bounds, makes triple. Then bogeys the third hole. She's 4 over through 3.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think she comes home in 5 under for the rest of the round to have a top 10 finish. So incredible.
Look, even though she didn't hit this shot, she played a big part in this shot. Check it out. I can see Dan's got it all ready to go. You could have done, So Steph Kyriacou on the 5th hole gets up and hits it to 1 inch.
Follow that, Mimi Rhodes.
Yep. Steph Kyriacou has already had a hole-in-one earlier in the week. Thank you very much.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. She had a hole-in-one on Friday where I think it was on the 5th hole. This is...
and here's the playing partner.
Sorry, this is on the 5th hole.
If you haven't seen it, this doesn't happen too often. Pop, in she goes. Little kiss and straight into the hole. Fantastic.
Do you reckon she bought her a drink afterwards or something?
I think she'd have to. I think she would have to.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't know, Steph gets to move her ball back to 1 inch, so it's a nice little tap in and not a 1-footer.
Well, Steph was in trouble of missing the cut on Friday, makes a hole-in-one on I think it was the 8th hole, and then eagles the last hole. She holds a bunker shot to get to level par. 2 over was the cut, and then has a great weekend.
I told you this a little while ago. She's just having a little bit of magic in her season.
She is.
Something special is going to happen to Steph Kyriacou this year, I'm certain, because little things like this just keep happening to her. There's a little bit of magic in the air for Steph. Unfortunately, there was no magic in the air for Australian watchers of Ian Baker-Finch's final tournament commentating because we got the international feed all week until Cameron Young walked onto the final green, and then we saw Ian Baker-Finch call it home.
Yeah.
I couldn't have been more – I didn't even know until after the final round on Monday. I'm just flicking through, social media, getting my news, trying to get the most important things that happened this week. And then I realised it was Finchie's last event and that we had put up with the international feed all week. I watch as much golf as everybody. I didn't hear on our feed, the international one, that it was his last week at any stage.
Not on ours.
So I didn't know until social media told me afterwards. It's just not on anymore. This international feed, we are missing so much. We're missing too much.
Well, plus, it was actually a great contrast from when you go from the international and then it paused and I'm thinking, okay, something's going on here. And then they put the list of commentators up on the screen. They had Nance and Immelman and Ian Baker-Finch.
And
Nobilo, because you knew they were going to cut away. Well, you didn't know, but you were hoping they're going to cut away to them because that's the first time I've seen the list of commentators. And then they come on and the difference is like, wow, okay.
Wow.
Look, the international feed, the guys are really good, but it's another level, as we know.
Okay, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you both a question, all right? If Fox Sports and KO, if they had the international feed on Fox 503 and the real feed on 505, what do you reckon the breakdown would be of Australians watching? I reckon it would be 95 to 5, and the only reason 5 were watching is because they didn't realise it was on the other channel. That's how big I reckon it is. I think it would be 19 to 1.
Nick, what do you reckon?
It'll be close. Yeah. I think
close to what?
No,
50-50, close to 19 to 1. Yeah,
no,
not even close.
Close to what you're saying. Look, and whether we're biased or not, I don't know. It's just what I'm used to hearing and what I love hearing. The silky tones of Jim Nance. I think he's the best in the business. Trevor Immelman's doing an amazing job. I mean, got on the international feed, they had Andrew Coulthard, and Andrew's really good.
Good bloke.
I really like listening to him, but it's just a different feel, the way they build the drama and things like that.
That's right. But if you put Coulthard into the real feed, it's Mickey Mouse. But because they're all names that aren't household names, it just feels second rate. And I mean that the nicest possible way to those guys, if it somehow gets back to you. It just, compared to what we could get. The other one, Frank Nobilo. I love Frank Nobilo as a commentator. I think he's underutilised. I think he is so good in what he does, and he's professional and he gets golf, and I love his opinions. Anyway, but
I'm
Finchie, but before we go,
congratulations,
Finchie, on just an outstanding commentary career over there. I mean, the one to be thought of highly enough to get a role, but then to make those roles your own and to...
I'm reading his book at the moment, and so far it's just been brilliant.
I'm looking forward to having a look at that too. You'll have to give it to me. I'm not going to buy a copy. But to be universally loved as well, like he is.
Yeah.
And, I saw Cameron Percy tweeting that he's just a great human being, was always helpful to the young Australians who made their way over there.
Tiger tweeted.
Yeah, I said that one through. So Tiger tweeted. Finchie apparently plays a bit of golf with Tiger. They live in the same sort of area. So just to be universally loved, somebody that I looked up to. I had his poster on my wall when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And to see him, could go. Well, he was leading that British Open at St Andrews. I think he shot 79 on the last day.
84,
1984. But then to go on and win it too and shoot 29 on the front nine and all that sort of stuff. He was a star player as well.
Absolute legend of the game, Finchie.
Yeah.
No,
Mark,
absolutely.
so you love him and you respect him, but not enough to fork out $39 for his book.
That's right. That's well picked up there.
There you go.
Interesting.
That's well picked up.
I think we've all learned something more about you
One
today,
question I have is who's going to replace him on NBC?
Well, was Frank? See,
So
is Frank a regular on NBC? Frank,
I think he is, right? Or not?
I thought Frank was a Golf Channel regular.
He could be. Yeah, I've lost track of it all now.
Well, that's right, because we don't get the real feed. We're stuck with this rotten feed. We don't know what's going on ourselves. But look, I thought it was unusual. I think Frank would be a great replacement.
Yeah.
What's Finchy, 65?
Something like that.
Frank, I think he's only, I remember him only being about 5 years older than me, Frank. Okay. So that puts him early 60s, maybe late 50s. I don't know. Maybe could you look that up, Dan, to see how old Frank Nobilo is?
Have a bit of a look. That's okay.
But I think he'd be a great replacement for Finchy, and just keeps it international. The real feed that keeps the best feed international that we don't see, which is ridiculous.
It was also good to see Cam Young get a win, by the way, at the Wyndham. Have you got it? Oh, he's 65.
He's 65. Gee, he's going well, Frank. You're looking magnificent, Frank.
Very sharp.
Yeah.
7 runner-ups for Cam Young.
Yeah.
Hasn't won on the PGA Tour and finally got it done. So congrats to him.
Did you see his card on the opening 9? So when you and I were commentating, we would laugh at the start of every single fourth round.
How large was his lead?
I think it was 5 or 6 shots. It might have been 6 shots was his lead. So you and I always joke about it always gets back to one shot. It doesn't matter how big that lead is. It just finds its way back. When I looked at his opening card, because when I switched it on, he was 9 shots in front. I thought, wow, he must have gone crazy. I saw this. So there it is. So he's bogeyed the first hole. He bogeys the first hole. He's never won before and he go and bogeyed the first.
Yeah.
You would be...
It's a bit of not a nothing hole, the first in Greensboro.
It's not a bogey hole when you're leading by 6 or 7.
No, it's just a pretty straightforward par 4.
But then look at all the circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. Bogey, then birdie the next 5 in a row. That's a hell of a bounce back.
That's impressive.
And I turned on, it must have been about the 12th hole, and he was 9 shots in front. And the tournament was over.
Yeah.
So
then we had the bubble watch.
That's right. I didn't see the bubble. I thought the bubble watch was garbage.
And what we mean is top 70 from this event get into the FedEx Cup playoffs. There was a bit of a story earlier in the week where I think it was Keith Mitchell missed the cut on Friday.
Yes.
Had a bit of a horrible finish.
Right.
To miss the cut, so he then couldn't qualify for the FedEx Cup playoffs.
I love Keith Mitchell too. I could watch him all day.
Actually, that reminds me, I made one of my greatest cuts ever at this tournament, the Wyndham Championship.
What'd you do?
And there's a reason why it was one of the greatest cuts
ever.
What'd you do? Little known to me, okay?
Was it the final before the FedEx back then?
I think it still was. It still was. It didn't really have anything to do with that because I think I might have still been in the FedEx Cup playoffs. But as it turned out, my parents were visiting over in the US. And I think we drove up to the tournament just for something different. Yeah, I think, it is a long drive, but we wanted to show them the countryside and all that sort of thing. Anyway, playing the second day, a good friend of ours who lived in the same golf course estate at Isleworth was very high up in Wyndham. Might have been second or third in charge.
Right.
Might have been CEO of the vacation sort of side of things.
Right.
Anyway, little beknownst to me, on the Friday that I'm playing, he said to Alana and my parents, look, if Nick makes the cut, I've got the Wyndham private jet back home to Orlando on Sunday.
Here we go. But you don't know this.
I don't know this at the time.
Right.
Anyway, and I'm like right on the bubble. I've got 3 holes to go. I'm playing the front 9.
When you say you're on the bubble, were you inside or outside?
I was right on the mark.
Right.
3 holes to go. I'm on the number. I'm thinking, okay, 3 pars and I make the cut. Here we go for the weekend. No problem. 7th hole is a long par 3 down the hill because I teed off 10. So I'm playing 7, 8, and 9, final 3 holes. I 4-putt for double.
You do not.
4-putt for double.
You've never 4-putted in your entire life.
It was one of those ones, quick putt down the hill, left it 6 foot short, and then knock it 4 feet past, miss the next one coming back.
No.
And the groans from the gallery was like, oh, no. Anyway, so next hole's a short par 4, hit it to 4 feet, birdie. So
nice.
Now I know I've got a birdie 9. Little dogleg right up the hill. Not too difficult a hole, but anyway, I've got a 15-foot putt down the hill for birdie to make the cut on the number. And I'm thinking, okay, got to make the cut. Parents are here and everything this. Roll it in, and the roar from the gallery, like my parents and Alana, they were fist pumping, they were high-fiving all this. I'm looking over going, okay, I made the cut, that's great. And anyway, they as I walk off, they go, thank you, because guess what? We're flying home private now.
So you know the drive. How long was the drive? How long was it?
Oh, no, the drive?
Yeah.
Oh, the drive was, it's a 10-hour drive or something like that.
It was the biggest part of your life.
Oh, it was huge. So it was a rental car that we drove up. So we just gave that back and hopped on the private jet. And thanks to Franz for the trip on the way home anyway, our good buddy.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, I did hear that the real feed did a lot more bubbling. So that would have been a great bubble back in the day. But the real feed handled the bubble much differently than the international feed.
Okay.
According to my friends in America.
Well, there was a lot going on.
Well, Cam Davis was 70 at one stage. He ended up being 69. The guy held a few long bombs. What's his name?
Matty Schmidt.
That's him.
He started the week on 70 and then finished on 70 because he birdied the last 3 holes because he made a bit of a mess of the
putts.
He made a bit of a mess of the earlier in the round. And then the guy that let him in was Davis Thompson, who he might have finished about tied 8th, tied 10th.
Yes.
All you need to do is, 2-putt from about 50 feet on 18. Unfortunately, 3-putted, missed about a 6-footer. He finishes 71st. So there was one person came in, one person came out of the top 70. I think it was Chris Kirk came in and then Ben Arn went out.
Okie doke. Hey, just before, I've got a little update on the Australian Open and Royal Melbourne Golf Club. Hello, all my favourite friends at Royal Melbourne and everybody. Everybody there on the superintendent, Richard, everybody. Hello, everybody. I hope you're going well. I hope things are looking really, really good. I've got a little update, but after the update, we're going to Arizona.
Oh.
Remember when we
Arizona.
we had the top 5, my top 5 Irish courses that I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Then this guy in Arizona who is a Wolfpacker.
Yeah.
We asked him via the show, could you do the top 5 desert courses? We're going to get to Tom pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to that.
Wow. Tom's got a list ready to go.
Love it.
Of the top 5 desert courses you got to play if you get a chance.
Something like that, yeah.
Like
we'll
that.
ask him to clarify what he means, yeah.
Right, so just quickly, it's been brought to my attention that some of the bare patches on the fringes at Royal Melbourne that we thought would have to grow back, apparently, I've got this secondhand, so apparently they'll be laying some turf. I don't know where they're getting the turf from because I was always told that the sods, there wasn't a sod, a fescue farm, so to speak.
Okay.
So maybe the east course will be purged. I don't know. I'm only guessing.
They've got sandy links across the road, possibly.
Sandy links across the road. You'd be devastated if you played there all the time and that got transported. But maybe just for the areas that were in a bit of trouble.
Okay. All right.
So I think I might have said that it would be a miracle if it gets up. It's starting to look like maybe a miracle will happen. So that is fabulous news for the Australian Open because we want that golf course to be picture perfect when we send that beautiful postcard out to the rest of the world. So that sounds great. Well done to everybody at Royal Melbourne. That sounds like it's going to be good news. Rope off some of those areas and you'd reckon it would be back. All right. Well, let's get over to Arizona. I'm looking forward to this.
All right. Let me dial him up and we'll see how we go.
Mark and Nick, how are you?
Hey, Tom. Thank you
well.
so much for being part of the program. It's nice to see you. There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick, I've never been to Arizona. I've been all over America, but I've never been to Arizona, and I've never ever played a desert course.
Okay.
They always look fascinating to me on the TV. Yeah. I've always wanted to, and I want to go when it's a little bit cooler because Tom, I reckon it's probably about 110 degrees over there at the moment.
Yeah, very warm. Basically, from June through August, it is extremely warm in the 40 to 45 Celsius range.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
Not for the faint of heart.
I played there when, Scottsdale tournament was usually in February because it was around Super Bowl time. And then I think we might have played a Greyhawk, one of those fall series events in September, October, something like that. So I missed all the hot stuff. So it worked out well.
And when's the best time to play these desert courses? Because obviously now it feels like it's probably too hot. But when they're overseeded with ryegrass and looking their absolute best, when's the best time to get over there?
Yeah, really January through, I would say, March or April. Is really our peak season that you have the Waste Management Open, you have Major League Baseball spring training. So we really get an onslaught of visitors. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Nick is very humble. He beat Tiger at a desert course down in Tucson.
Well, if that's not in the top 5, come on.
Believe me, Tom, we know about this. Yeah, we know.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't want that to slip by.
Thank you for reminding us, though. I like it.
All right. Well, the reason we got you on is because I want to know the top 5 desert golf courses that I must play if I get the opportunity.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like a lot of these ratings, and you went back and forth with the gentleman on I believe it's top 100 about the Australian courses, and
That's right.
had some disagreements. And I guess I can sympathize with him a little bit in that this is can be a bit of a daunting task, but I'll give it my best shot. And that is number one in my mind.
No. Start at number 5 if you could, please. Number 5.
Yeah, work our way down.
We'll work our way up.
Oh, okay. And this would be really, I would say Arizona, and quite frankly, Maricopa County, which would encompass the Metro, Phoenix, Scottsdale area. So at number 5, I'll start then with a controversial pick, and that is a course called Desert Mountain Outlaw, which Desert Mountain is an interesting property. Believe it or not, 7 Nicklaus courses, all high quality.
Wow.
You may recall they
so which one again?
The champions.
Desert Mountain, and what was it? Which one was
Outlaw,
it?
I think.
Outlaw.
Outlaw course. So Desert Mountain hosted the Champions Tour championship up until about, 5 to 7 years ago. And I think, they had some logistical challenges, that it's quite a ways north of the city. It's pretty hardcore terrain, desert terrain.
Yep.
But, it speaks to the quality of the development. The interesting thing about this Outlaw course is the only course that's really off the property. It's about 2 miles east of the other 6 courses in the main property.
Yeah, okay.
The other thing that's, I would say, controversial or interesting is it's probably the least played, believe it or not, of the 7 courses. And in my opinion, that is, it's frankly, no disrespect, but too difficult for the majority of the membership.
Yeah, okay.
That it plays much more like a links course, like fast and firm. And, without going into too much detail, there's one par 5 that I can think of that's like a volcano green site where,
wow,
unless you can hit the ball high in the air and spin it, you're probably just going to ping pong back and forth.
All right, let's move along to number 4.
Number 4, I have, let me check my notes here. Estancia Club, which is up in that same general area, North Scottsdale. It's a Fazio course.
I heard of this one.
Estancia.
Very nice members club.
Beautiful.
And
number 3.
Number 3, I would go with. It's actually a daily fee resort course. It's called Weekapaw, and they have 36 holes there. Specifically, this course is the Swirl course, and it was done by Crenshaw Core. I would say the remarkable thing about this course is there's no housing at all.
Nice.
Pretty wide open, long views, a lot of half par holes that you'll play.
Great.
A 350-yard par 4, and then turn around and play a 510-yard par 4.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Brilliant.
Interesting. Number 2, I would move to Troon Country Club, which is again up in North Scottsdale, private course, actually done by Tom Weiskopf. Tom lived here in town for quite a while, so he's done a fair amount of design work here. The other thing, just to avoid confusion, is there is a club called Troon North, which is in that same neighborhood, 36 holes, and that's daily fee. But the specific course I'm referring to is Troon Country Club. They're actually hosting the USGA Mid-Am next month, mid to late September.
Right.
It's the real deal. Yeah, okay. And your number 1, drum roll, please.
Number 1 is clearly Desert Forest, which is up in a little town called Carefree, which is just north of Scottsdale. The interesting fact on this one is it's, in my mind, really kind of the first notable desert course down here. It was, I believe, built in the early 60s by a guy named Red Lawrence, who also did a couple notable courses in the Southwest, University of New Mexico, other courses. But the thing about Desert Forest is it is a true golf club. Private club. They don't serve dinner. It's really just all about the golf. Very concerned about, the quality of the turf, those types of things. It's very, very difficult. It's, but I would say very fair, but it's basically, fairways of 25, 30 yards width, a little bit of rough, and then very gnarly desert. So
okay.
you gotta really play.
Desert Forest. I've never even heard of it before. No. Hey, Tom, just before you go, you mentioned the University of New Mexico college course. I played that. I remember playing, that was one of my first tournaments there. I used to play at Texas Tech a long time ago. So would you count that as a desert course? Probably not.
I would not.
Yeah.
It's kind of, a blurred line, kind of high desert. I mean, you're, at that course, literally you're at probably over 5,000 feet.
That's right.
Wow.
My 8-iron was going 165 yards. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it's kind of cut through a canyon. Although they do still play. I know a young junior that I play with a little bit actually went to the USAM qualifier this year up there. So it's, a quality venue, and they play some events.
I remember it being a good course.
Wow.
Hey, Tom, thank you so much, mate. We really appreciate you making the effort to get that top 5 for us, because so many of us are curious about desert golf. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Good on you.
Thanks, Tom.
Hey, Tom, how far away from Tempe are you, by the way? Do you live close to Tempe?
Yeah. So I would say from the campus, Arizona State, maybe 20 minutes, something like that. Okay. I'm about 10 minutes south of TPC, Scottsdale.
Oh, right. I only asked because my daughter went to Arizona State and she lived in Tempe.
Oh, there you go.
So,
there you go. You're just around the corner.
Oh, really?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good on you,
Tom. Mark, quick one for you.
Yeah.
Have you been back to Texas Tech and played the Rawls course?
The Rawls course? No, I haven't. I've only been told about it. Tom Doak design, but I can't even picture where they've built it. That's the funny thing. Was it on campus, or was it near the hospitals, or where was it?
I want to say just north of campus.
Yeah,
and I've played there a time or two, and it's very good. Obviously you get wind out there, so it almost feels kind of linksy. And the other one, it's interesting. I haven't played there yet, but there's a kind of a new high-end private club that was put together by some, rich Texas oilmen called Red Feather.
Yeah, I've heard of that one too. Apparently that's good.
Right.
Yeah, and it's, I think, just now opened. I haven't played it yet, but if you get there, it'd probably be worth playing.
Have a look around. Yeah, well, I keep on telling my friends that I'll go back and say hello. So maybe I'll put Red Feather and Rawls on the list. Thanks again for all your trouble. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, great to talk to you guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, Tom.
Well, that's Tom's top 5, and after the turn, we're going to get to your top 5.
That's right.
Yes.
You want to know what my top 5 is?
Go on.
The top 5 things that have to be done to make the Australian Open better than what it is.
Very nice.
This could be good.
We're live from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. We all know the number 1 ball in golf is Titleist, and the number 1 shoe and glove in golf is FootJoy. We're here thanks to the Golf Clearance Outlet. They beat everyone's prices. Ping will always help you play your best. Turn your bogeys into birdies with the Watch My Numbers app, and Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. That's better. Now, back to Talk Birdie to Me. Here's Nick and Mark.
Desert Forest. I've just gone and had a look at some pictures of Desert Forest. Tom's number 1. Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, I want to go and play Desert Forest.
A golfer's golf club. I like that.
Yeah, and by the way, if you disagree with Tom, and who knows, maybe you do, send through your top 5, and we'll maybe have a chat about that next week, or at least have a look at them anyway.
I think Tom seemed like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, he was.
He was. Lovely.
I can't believe Kalgoorlie didn't make the list.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's probably not too familiar with Kalgoorlie. Anyway, it's time for this week's Top 5.
Top 5. The Talk Birdie to Me Top 5, thanks to Southern Golf Club. Top 5.
Okay, so with the news that Royal Melbourne should be right to go, which is fabulous news, I thought, let's just have a bit of a think about things and let's make the Australian Open something special again. instead of what's been going on the last few years. So my top 5 things that must get done. Well, they've already started this year.
This is going to be interesting.
This is number 5.
Okay.
Our very best courses. It must be played on our very best courses, or even if the courses that look the best on TV. Like, for instance, Peninsula Kingswood. That course on TV looks so amazing.
Well, it's not a top 100 in the world though, Mark. I mean,
Maybe we should get it at St Andrews Beach. You're right. Maybe we should have it at St Andrews Beach. Number 4, there has been an increase in prize money this year, but let's get with the program. It needs to be a $6 million event.
Ooh.
It needs to have 6 million Australian pesos behind it. I don't know how we're going to get there.
No.
In fact,
Good luck.
It's a wish more than anything. If you're watching, people at Golf Australia, it's a wish. But 6 million to make it serious and get it right up there, it just says a lot about the tournament. Number 3 needs to be piggybacking on another big tournament.
Well, it already does, the BMW Australian PGA Championship.
Yes, that's right. I'm thinking a little larger, and you'll understand more when I get to my number 1. At number 2, it needs to be part of a big DP World Tour swing.
Mm-hmm.
So it needs to be, a few tournaments down here. And at number 1, the number 1 thing the Australian Open has to do to push it to where it needs to be is it needs to be in the Elvis Presley time slot. February, March.
Oh, no,
It needs to be in February or early March. And that's a non-negotiable, because I know that the best Australian players are telling you that they won't come back if it's in February, March. But the truth of the matter is they don't come back anyway. I mean, it's as simple as that.
So you're thinking somewhere around the Live Adelaide.
Well, that's right. So it piggybacks on the back of Live. Whenever Live is, it's got to be the week after. Then, hopefully, which would even be better, the Australian PGA, which is worth $2.5 million and going in the right direction.
Yes.
Then I reckon they'd piggyback, and they'd probably get a couple of Live players as well. Mm-hmm. And then one other big event, and I would have it on the way back to the Arab countries, somewhere that way, the Arab nations. So maybe something in Perth. No debt, Western Australia. Well done, Western Australia. I reckon they could afford something enormous over there.
Loaded.
They are loaded, WA.
Rolling in cash.
So I would have a tournament in WA, if that lines up. Live, Australian Open, Australian PGA, which is killing it, and then back Perth way, on the way to the Arab nations. If we could half fill our event with Europeans, half fill it with good Australian players, give them even more pathways over there somehow. That's for someone else's, someone else's problem to sort out. That needs to happen soon. Anyway.
All right.
That's a
good top 5.
That is a good top 5.
What to think about.
Hey, now guys, you know how after the show last week we were talking about getting Steve Williams on, Tiger Woods' former caddy. Steve Williams.
We were. Well, I thought that was just going to go on this imaginary list that we got going.
Well, we've messaged him and we've heard back, and he said, boys, I'm in.
Beautiful.
We're going to chat to him next week.
Love it.
Next week.
Next week.
Fantastic. All right, good.
Now, what's interesting about
this? A stack of questions for Steve Williams.
Well,
that could be a long one.
Well, it could be a long one, and we want the Wolfpackers to be involved. I said to Steve, "Hey, you happy to answer questions from Wolfpackers?" And he said, "Bring them on." So we can't read out 100 of them, but if you've got a question that you would like to ask Steve about his time caddying for Tiger or anything at all, he's happy to answer them. Send them through. We'll pick out 3. The best question, as voted by the only member of this podcast who beat Tiger Woods twice in match play, will win an personally autographed copy of Steve's book.
Fantastic.
That is sensational. All right, so get in touch with our socials with your questions for Steve Williams. It's time for this week's... I was trying to cover it up.
Time for the Ping Global Results, because Ping will help you play your best.
Mark always just sits back, arms folded, and goes, "Oh, that song."
I like the results. I like the Ping Globals.
Very good. Well, we didn't have too many this
with
week.
the music
So,
after what we used to have.
Yeah, well, we've had this conversation, Mark, and this is on you. So let's move on.
All right, let's start with the AIG Women's Open at Royal Porth Call. As I mentioned earlier, Japanese sensation Miyu Yamashita had a two-shot win over Minami Katsu, another Japanese player, and Charlie Hull, not Catherine Hull. That was our own Aussie player from years ago. Miyu becomes the second Japanese major winner this year. Now, if you think about it, we've had 2 Japanese players and 2 Australians winning the majors, 4 out of the 5 majors this year. So very impressive. The odds-on favourite going into the event, Lottie Woad, tied for 8th. Good solid week for the recently turned pro.
She was the odds-on favourite, was she?
She was number one.
So she wins the week before in her first tournament as a professional, and then she turns up the next week at a major, and she's the favourite.
She's the favourite. What do you think her world ranking is right now, Lottie Woad?
Well, she won, the Irish?
She won the Irish on
the
LET.
She won the Irish as an amateur. Then she won the Scottish as a pro.
Yep.
I'm going to say, she's the number 1 amateur in the world, so she's obviously been playing in tournaments. 5 in the world.
Oh, okay. Gee, you went low, didn't you? No, she's number 20. So,
20, okay.
But with a bullet.
Wow.
So, no, she'll be up to number 1 maybe this time next year. Who knows?
Didn't you we read out the top 12 players before and she wasn't in it. I'm just working it out.
That's okay.
I should have gone over 12.
Well, anyway, as mentioned earlier, our own Steph Kyriacou tied for 8th. Well done to her along with Lottie Woad. Minji Lee tied for 13th. Lydia Ko tied for 36th and Grace Kim tied for 67th.
What did Kyriacou shoot in that last round? Because she tripled the first.
She shot 1 under.
1 under. That's a mighty effort.
4 over through 3.
It was blowing a hell of a lot in that last round.
Very
so well
impressive.
done, Steph.
Yep. The Wyndham Championships, the final event on the PGA Tour before the FedEx Cup playoffs. We had Cam Young win. Now he becomes the 1,000th different winner on the PGA Tour. Now, when you talk about different winners, you've also got old Tom Morris, young Tom Morris, James Braid.
I'm not sure the PGA Tour was
they count anything
around in 1861.
You got to give it to them anyway.
Well, we understand what they're doing.
Go with
it's
stats,
in retrospect, so we get it.
You had a 6-shot winner over Mac Meissner of the Australians. We had Carl Phillips tied for 19th. Unfortunately, misses out on the FedEx Cup. He finished 83rd on the points list.
83rd? So 83rd. That keeps his card, though, he's won anyway.
He won anyway. He's got a 2-year exemption. Cam Davis tied for 44th. He got that 69th spot for the FedEx Cup.
Well done.
Adam Scott tied for 55th. Unfortunately, he's out. He finished in 90th spot on the FedEx Cup. And Aaron Baddeley, we talk about Aaron and how he's off and on the tour. Well, he's probably going to be off again unless he has an amazing fall series because he made the cut but finished 72nd, but he's 186th on the points list.
Yeah, so he needs to get a hurry on.
7 events in the fall. So after the playoffs, top 100 keep their status for next season.
Okay.
Hotel Planet Tour, which is the secondary tour on the over there in Europe. They're in Scotland, where Ping's own Daniel Young had a home soil victory. Congratulations to Daniel. Of the Aussies playing, Hayden Hopewell tied for 62nd and Tom Powerhoran 72nd. On the LET Access Tour over in Denmark, Mexico's Fernanda Lira had a win there. Justice Bozio tied for 26th along with Abby Teasdale, with the Aussies playing. Legends Tour, we had the Stayshore PGA Seniors Championship, and I haven't heard of this guy's name for quite a while. I used to play a bit of golf with him. American Bo Van Pelt.
Hey,
remember Bo?
Yeah, I do.
He won in a playoff over South African Darren Fickart. Well done to him. Scotty Hand, another good week, finished 3rd, still holding top spot on the order of merit there on the Legends Tour. And also just a shout out to Declan O'Donovan, an Avondale amateur, won the Canadian amateur. Last week. Me? No, that gets him into the US Amateur in a couple of weeks.
A member from Avondale has won that tournament. Wow.
Gets him into the 2026 Canadian Open.
Oh,
so how good's that?
Wow.
That'll be his first PGA Tour start. But we have seen him a bit here on the Challenger PGA Tour of Australasia this past year playing, and he already looks like a pro, this kid. He's very impressive.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Anyway, that's this week's Ping Global.
All right, time for some feedback, guys. Okay, boys, plenty of feedback to run through and a few questions coming up for you guys. First of all, from Noel. Guys, heard another listener mention Laguna Keys as one of their favourite courses, and it was one of mine too. I played it often as I live in Mackay, about an hour away. It was designed by David Graham, and I believe they had plans to do another 18 holes designed by Kari Webb. It hosted a few Skins games in the 90s.
That's right.
And from memory, I saw Greg Norman, Laura Davies and David Graham play there.
That's right.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember that as a kid.
Laguna Keys up. This is an hour north of Mackay. So we talked about this last week.
Right.
Yeah.
Interestingly, and this is what Noel goes on to say, you can still see the layout on Google Earth. The main building now looks like something out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Overrun with vines and jungle. But when it was open, it was fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember it as a kid as a place I really wanted to go. So it was kind of Coolum before Coolum was.
Yeah. I played at the Mackay Cricketers Club.
Did you?
in a Troppo tour event.
Oh, wow.
They had a golf course going around the cricket oval and all around.
Harrop Park is the Cricketers Club there.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, it's called Harrop Park.
The Mackay Cricketers Club golf course,
Pro-am.
apparently. So, yeah, it was a pro-am back in the Troppo days.
How'd you
A lot
go?
of fun.
Do you remember how you played?
Not well. It was back in the mid-90s. I sucked back then.
I'm trying to think where the golf course. Maybe it's not Harrop Park. Harrop Park is gorgeous. That's where they play the cricket now. Anyway,
All right.
great place. Great place. It's no Wollongong,
Keep saying that, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
but it's a great place.
it's getting to the embarrassing stage.
Okay,
Continue.
really? Okay, this is from Jeff Jackson. Jeff has said, "G'day guys, why do you say ball fitting is so important when 99% of people can't notice the difference or hit the ball well enough to really lower their scores by using a different ball? I think unless you're near scratch, your game won't be affected by the tiny idiosyncrasies between each ball, and I don't think it helps you justify the cost."
Now, given you've gone to Titleist University, Mark, I'm going to leave this one with you.
Yeah, well, it's a very interesting thing. So when you're talking about what happened to me, and I'm at 103 miles per hour, 104 miles per hour is how fast my driver goes. It doesn't spin too much when I hit the golf ball. And what was noticed when I had getting fitted for my GT Woods was that he looked at my numbers and said, you should move to the ball that spins more because you won't notice the difference from tee to green. But where I do completely notice the difference is the amount of spin I generate between the black number and the red number being the Pro V1X. The amount of spin from, I'm going to say 40 steps away from the pin is extremely noticeable, where it's stop, bounce, stop, where the Pro V1 would bounce and roll a bit.
Yeah.
So extremely noticeable.
Yeah.
By the way, bounce, roll a bit, that's fine too if you're playing at a place where you've got really soft greens. In fact, it's probably where you want. So I would say the ball fitting is more important just in case you're the same sort of situation as I was.
Yeah, I think for most golfers out there, one of the most common things they say is, how can I get more spin on my irons and my wedges? Now, obviously the ball plays a huge part in that, so you can get a ball that spins a bit more. Now, if it doesn't affect your long game, well, that's perfect, exactly what you're saying. So that's why you want to go get that ball fitting. Now, if it does shorten you off the tee, well, then there's probably a bit of give and take there that you might have to factor in.
Yeah, and the other one too is that if you are a weekend warrior and you've got a big slice, your ball is spinning a hell of a lot. So what you want to do is you want to get a ball that doesn't spin too much, and that slice will be, narrowed down
Tightened
a
up
little bit. A little bit. Now, usually it's general. This is a generalisation. People who've got big cuts, I haven't seen too many of them know what they're doing around the greens, for instance.
Sure.
So a spinning ball mightn't help you at all around the greens, but it will help you significantly off the tee.
Okay, message here from Lith. Lith has said, golfers are getting fitter, stronger and faster. This is on the rollback chat, by the way. Most of the PGA courses are too easy for these guys. Equipment's getting more and more forgiving every cycle. It's a losing battle. The only way to nerf these guys is by making tour courses harder and less forgiving. Longer isn't the key, as that will only affect the shorter to mid-range hitters.
Well, I think the tour courses, there's a lot of them that if they're 72 for the members, their shortest par 5 gets turned into a par 4. And, that wipes you 20 under to 16 under, basically. Pretty handy if you've got two of those. And all of a sudden, you don't have to change the golf course for members. It stays at a par 72. But when the big guys get to town or the big girls get to town, all of a sudden, you've only got two par 5s and it's a par 70 and it seems reasonable that they're not just hitting a wedge in there every single hole. Maybe they're hitting a 6-iron into those two par 5s that you've shortened the par 4s.
The other thing you got to factor in, I think we referenced this some time ago, Scotty Scheffler was talking about, look, we're really good, the PGA Tour players. They're incredible because they practice their craft day in, day out, and you can make these courses as hard as you want, but they'll find a way to still shoot lower scores.
Yep.
Now, the technology, as we know, obviously has an effect on that. So, whether you bifurcate the rules, we've been talking about that or whatever, but we're talking about less than 0.1% of the golfing population that we're going to change these golf courses for. We don't need to do that. Let's just celebrate the fact they can shoot 20-something under maybe. Maybe that's a way to go.
Or I'm starting to get in line with you. Let's just make for professionals the head smaller.
Yeah.
I'm getting on board with that.
And give them a half set while you're at it.
12 clubs?
No, make it 7 or 8. That's all. That's all. That'll sort them out. and then no yardages.
No lines on the golf ball.
Yes.
We'll keep going.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this one's interesting from Craig. The I can't even talk. The hollow body clubs produce inconsistent distances in my experience.
Yes.
I play blades all the way through so I can trust the equipment, and any discrepancies distance, they're down to me. That's
right. Yeah, that's what we were saying last week. That you can, this rubbish that you can move a blade better is garbage in my view. You can shape a ball, you can hit a low, high with anything. But I think, like our Wolfpacker there mentioned, that the hollow clubs, they do go different distances from the middle of the club if you've got high club head speed. But if you've got lower club head speed, I think you wouldn't even notice.
Yeah,
you would not even notice.
The game enhancing performance, whatever you want to call it, for the most golfers, they'll help them out. But if you are more of an elite player, you will find the difference. That's why I moved to the Blueprint tees, the blade and the pings.
Yeah.
The wider sole one I just found every now and then would come off a little hot for some reason.
Yep.
That's just me. So.
That's right. And what's one of the great things that you could hit the ball pin high at will.
Yeah.
In your heyday, didn't matter where it was. If it was 213 yards, you could pretty much hit it 213 yards if you made a good swing. Pretty much.
Yeah, maybe 212, but that's okay.
Now we'll wrap up two or three comments on the topic from last week about players who didn't fulfil their potential.
Yeah.
Got a couple of comments here from Wolfpackers.
Okay.
Mac has said, golf is unbelievably hard. My nephew was a 3-time state junior amateur champ, 3-time state individual high school champ, a 4-year starter on a Big Ten golf team. He turned pro, moved to Florida, and got destroyed by dentists, insurance guys, car dealers, and countless +6 handicap guys everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
That's kind of how it works.
You have got to be elite. In fact, if you are an average professional, that puts you at 500 in the world, right? Because there's about 1,300, 1,400 players ranked. Last time I checked.
You're talking about tour playing.
I'm talking about the best players, the players who are ranked in the world ranking system. Sure. So I'm going above average. If you're 500 in the world, you're going to go hungry at number 500 in the world. Believe me, I was there for a long time. But if you can sneak into that 200 in the world, and if you can stay in the 200 in the world for 10 or 15 years, you'll go okay. You're still going to have to find a job when you're finished. Mm-hmm. If you can get into the top 100 in the world and stay there for 10 or 15 years, you should be right. You should actually be right to send your kids to a nice school, to buy a nice couple of houses and do everything you dreamt about doing. But not many can get into the top 100 in the world and stay there for 15 years. How long were you inside the top 100?
Top 100?
Yeah, just a guess, ballpark.
It's a good question. Maybe 10 years. I'm guessing.
Yeah,
maybe.
10 years.
It's funny you mentioned that because Matt Kuchar, for example, he is 126 on the points list, and he's been in that top 125 his whole career, and that's over 20-something years. Yeah. So he's been inside that top 100, top 50 in the world for a long, long time. Now, take my hat off to him. Yeah. Very impressive.
And when you pay caddies $5,000 instead of $500,000, you're almost guaranteed to have some cash in the bank. So well done, Matty. You've done a great job.
Okay, this one here from Jacob. Jacob has said Martin Ayres was a phenomenal junior player in Sydney in the early 90s.
Yeah, I remember.
Now, I remember reading about this 14 or 15-year-old school kid shooting 65s in Varden events. Yep. I played with him once. He shot 29 around corner golf club's front 9, the hard 9. Pure ball striking, great control for such a young fella. He went to college in America and played a bit with Tiger apparently, but I'm not sure what happened to him after that. Any idea?
Martin Ayres. He's a pretty good teacher in the end, wasn't he, there for a little bit? Yeah, look, I remember the name Martin Ayres. I remember him him being spoken of in high regard, but I've got no idea where Martin is these days. No,
and the final comment on this one, this is from Kiwi Mick, our mate Kiwi Mick. Nick, you might have played with this guy, and he was going to be the next big thing. Hank Keeney, a huge hitter. What happened to him?
Good question, actually. Wasn't there, there's like 3 Keeneys, wasn't there? I think the sister might have did the best out of all of them, Kelly Keeney.
Yeah.
There was Kelly, there was Hank, and there was another one.
But Hank was hit a million miles. He came to Australia a couple of times.
Hank was the John Daly, wasn't he? He basically hit it a ton. Actually, you know what Hank did?
What did he do?
I think he married or he went out with, what's the Williams sisters? Not Serena, the other one. Venus.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Was he with Venus for a while? Or
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that is correct.
Yep. Yeah, but I don't know what he's doing now. So.
Okay. Speaking of John Daly, who you just mentioned, John Daly obviously played a pretty significant role in Happy Gilmore 2. Later in the week, we're going to do our Happy Gilmore 2 review podcast. So let's not give anything away, but just want to check we've all seen it now.
We have.
We've all seen it.
Okay.
And I was witness to some of the green room chat. I think you'd want to watch.
Okay.
I think you'd want to watch that particular episode. Gets heated.
Well, that'll be later in the week.
Could get heated.
And that's been Talk Birdie to Me, Australia's most popular golf podcast, with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen, coming from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. As everyone knows, Titleist is the #1 ball in golf, and FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. Wherever you get your podcasts, make sure to subscribe, maybe leave a review, and we'd love you to share the pod with a friend who loves their golf. Huge thanks to our fantastic partners. Ping, like they do for Nick O'Hearn, will help you play your best. You can see your local golf shop or professional for a Ping Club fitting. The Golf Clearance Outlet always beat everyone's prices. Visit golfclearanceoutlet.com.au for your nearest store. Watch My Numbers is the most powerful data-based golf app in the world. You can download from the App Store or Google Play. And better, they've got the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Download from the App Stores today. Now that's better. Keep in mind, what are you really gambling with? But for now, from our studio at Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, thanks for being a part of the show. We'll see you next time.